AITA for refusing to give up my vacation plans despite my sister's emergency. I, 32F, have always been close to my family, especially my younger sister, 28F. We grew up in a small town and stayed pretty tight-knit, even after we both moved out and started our own lives. I work in marketing, and my sister is a nurse. Over the years, we've shared everything from holidays to birthdays and random family get-togethers. About 2 months ago, I booked a vacation with my boyfriend, Jake, 34M, to Italy. We've been saving for years to take this trip. It's a dream vacation, a 2-week trip across several cities, including Rome, Florence, and Venice. I was beyond excited and had spent hours planning every detail to make it special. I wanted this trip to be a break from work and life stress and a chance to experience something amazing with Jake. Around the same time I booked the trip, my sister started dating a guy named Mark. Mark has been in her life for about 6 months now. At first, I liked him. He seemed kind and was good to my sister, but I'll admit I wasn't super close with him. They're different kinds of people, and Mark is a little intense sometimes. 2 weeks ago, my sister called me late one night. She was crying and sounded panicked. She told me that Mark's mother had a severe stroke and was in the hospital, critically ill. Mark was freaking out and wanted to be with his mom, but the hospital was in another state, a 10-hour drive away. He was hoping my sister could drive him there to be with his family because he didn't have anyone else to turn to. My sister then asked if I could cancel my trip to Italy to come stay with her and help take care of Mark's needs while he was away. She said she needed someone to support her emotionally and handle things at home because she was overwhelmed. She insisted that this was urgent and that she couldn't do it alone. She also implied that it was selfish of me to be going on vacation while her life was in turmoil. At first, I was stunned. My trip was non-refundable, and I had taken time off work specifically for this. Canceling would mean losing thousands of dollars, and Jake and I were both counting on this vacation as a much-needed break. Plus, I wasn't sure I could drop everything to be my sister's emotional support, especially for something involving Mark's family drama. I told my sister I was sorry about Mark's mom, but that I couldn't cancel the trip. I offered to help in other ways, maybe drive her to the hospital to visit Mark's mom, help organize meals, or anything I could do from here. But I was firm that I couldn't cancel my vacation. I was honest that I didn't want to be the one to take on Mark's family emergency because I felt it wasn't my responsibility. She got really upset. She said I was being selfish and uncaring, that family should come first, and that I was abandoning her in a time of crisis. She told me that Jake should understand and that if he really loved me, he would support me skipping the trip. She said I was prioritizing a luxury over family obligations. I tried to explain that this trip wasn't just a luxury. It was something I worked hard for, something I needed mentally and emotionally after a stressful year at work. I also reminded her that I had my own commitments and that sometimes family emergencies can't always be accommodated, especially when they involve someone who isn't even my direct family. After this conversation, she stopped talking to me for a few days. Our parents reached out and asked me to reconsider because it was family, but I held my ground. I also talked to Jake about it, and he supported me staying on the trip. He said that while it was sad what was happening, my sister was asking too much, and I shouldn't sacrifice my own happiness and plans for something that wasn't really my responsibility. The day before I left for Italy, my sister sent me a message saying she never wanted to hear from me again and that I was dead to her. She said she hoped Mark's family knew who really cared and who didn't. I'm back from the trip now, and honestly, it was amazing. But the tension with my sister is unbearable. Our parents say I should reach out and apologize, but I don't feel like I did anything wrong. I didn't cancel my trip just to abandon my sister. I set boundaries. I tried to help in other ways, but it wasn't enough for her. So Reddit, AITA for refusing to give up my vacation plans and support my sister during Mark's family emergency. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps the content grow and motivates me to create even more great videos. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any new uploads. By the way, I'm curious, when do you usually watch my videos? While working, studying, or just relaxing at home? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for your support. AITA for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because she excluded my kids? This has been eating at me for months now, and I really want to get an outside perspective on this because family situations are complicated, and I don't want to come off as the bad guy if I'm not. To give you some background, I, 37F, have two kids, ages 8 and 5. My sister, Emily, 34F, is getting married next month. Emily and I have always had a complicated relationship. We grew up close, but drifted apart during college and the years following. However, since I had my kids, we reconnected somewhat, mostly for the kids' sake. Emily has no children herself, but has always been enthusiastic about kids in general, and we hoped that having my children around would be something we could bond over again. When Emily got engaged about a year ago, I was genuinely happy for her and wanted to be involved in the planning. I made it clear from the start that my kids would be coming to the wedding with me. That seemed reasonable since we were very close, and they are part of the family, after all. However, a few months ago, Emily sent me the official invite with no plus ones allowed. I was fine with that, since the wedding was going to be small and intimate. But when I asked about my kids, Emily said the venue was very limited in capacity and the wedding would be adults only. She said it was just the way it had to be and asked me to understand. I was taken aback. She's my sister, and she knew my kids were a big part of my life. I tried to negotiate, offering to pay for extra seats or accommodate in any way possible. Emily stuck to her guns, explaining that the venue's strict rules and the nature of the wedding didn't allow for children. I asked if there was any way they could be involved in other parts of the day, like a family lunch or the rehearsal dinner, but Emily said those were also limited, and the focus was going to be on the couple and their friends. This felt more like a boundary than a venue issue to me, but I tried to respect it. Still, I was disappointed, and so were my kids when I explained that they couldn't come. Over the next few weeks, I gently pushed Emily to reconsider, saying how important it was to me that my kids feel included in the family celebration. Emily became defensive, accusing me of being unreasonable and trying to make the wedding about my kids rather than her special day. She also mentioned that my kids sometimes cause chaos when they're around, which felt unfair and hurtful since she's never been around them much to really judge. Things came to a head when I told her I wasn't comfortable attending the wedding without my kids. I said that if they couldn't come, I wouldn't be coming either because family means including everyone. Emily exploded, saying I was being selfish, and she accused me of trying to force her to have a kids' party rather than a wedding. She called me immature and said if I couldn't support her on her big day, maybe I shouldn't come at all. Since then, communication has been minimal. I've told her I'm not attending, and she's blocked me on social media. My parents are caught in the middle and keep begging me to go because it's important to Emily. But I'm feeling torn because I don't want to abandon my kids or make them feel excluded from family events. I've offered to celebrate with Emily in other ways, but it's not the same as being there on her wedding day. My friends are split. Some say I'm right to stand up for my kids and not let them be excluded, while others say I should have put my sister first for one day and found a way to make it work. I honestly don't know if I'm being stubborn or if Emily is being unfair. So, Reddit, AITA for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because she won't allow my kids to come. AITA for refusing to give my sister's wedding dress to her best friend after she accidentally ruined it. I, 29F, have always been close to my sister, Emily, 27F. We're 2 years apart, but we grew up sharing everything, clothes, secrets, and dreams. When Emily got engaged last year, I was ecstatic. She asked me to be her maid of honor, and I immediately started helping with the wedding plans. One of the biggest moments for Emily was picking out her wedding dress. She went through countless bridal shops before settling on a beautiful, classic lace gown with a long train. It was exactly what she wanted. I remember how she cried tears of joy the day she bought it, telling me, "This is the dress I'm going to marry my best friend in." Fast forward to a few months ago, when Emily's best friend, Jessica, 28F, who she's known since college, started acting weird around the dress. Jessica was also in the bridal party and had asked to see the dress multiple times. Emily was hesitant, but eventually let Jessica try it on at her apartment, where she stored the gown in its bag. That's when things got messy. Jessica came over with her dog, a little terrier she claimed was super well behaved. Emily let her try the dress on, but Jessica's dog somehow got loose and jumped all over the dress, smearing mud and scratching the delicate lace on the train. The damage was bad enough that the dress couldn't be worn without serious repairs. Jessica immediately started panicking and begging Emily not to tell anyone. She insisted it was an accident and offered to pay for dry cleaning or repairs. Emily was crushed but reluctantly agreed to get it fixed, thinking the dress could be salvaged. The issue escalated when Jessica approached me a few days later. She said she was so sorry and asked if she could just keep the dress after the wedding since it was now ruined. Jessica claimed she wanted to keep it as a memento of Emily and the friendship, despite the damage. I was shocked. The dress wasn't Jessica's to keep. Emily was still planning on wearing it on her wedding day, and Jessica had no right to ask for it after destroying it. I told Jessica no, firmly, explaining that the dress was for my sister's wedding, and no matter what happened, Emily intended to wear it or at least keep it as her own. Jessica got defensive, accusing me of being mean and not understanding how important the dress was to her. When I told Emily what Jessica wanted, she was furious but hesitant to confront her. Emily didn't want to lose Jessica as a friend, especially during such a stressful time. She asked me to just let it go, but I couldn't. I felt like Jessica was trying to take advantage of the situation and guilt us into giving her something she had no right to. A few days before the wedding, Jessica took things further. She showed up at Emily's apartment unannounced with a bouquet of flowers and a letter apologizing for everything and asking again if she could have the dress after the wedding. Emily showed me the letter, and I was livid. I told Emily to block Jessica and to stand firm on not giving the dress away. Emily was scared of making Jessica angry, but agreed to be firm with her this time. On the day of the wedding, Emily wore a beautifully restored dress. The repairs were pricey, but worth it to preserve the memories and her special day. Jessica wasn't in the wedding party anymore. Emily asked her not to come after the drama. The fallout was worse than expected. Jessica accused Emily and me of destroying the friendship over a dress and made vague social media posts about betrayal and unfairness, which hurt Emily deeply. Our family is divided. Some think Jessica was just a little careless, while others agree she crossed the line. Emily told me she feels like she's lost her best friend, and I feel guilty for pushing back so hard. But I also believe that Jessica's actions and demands were disrespectful and selfish. So, Reddit, AITA for refusing to give my sister's wedding dress to her best friend after the friend damaged it and asked to keep it? Should Emily have forgiven Jessica and given her the dress to preserve their friendship? Or was I right to stand up for my sister and her special day?